Pura vida, pura vida life with you.
What's up guys, Jay Walia here and welcome to yet another installment of Pura Vida. Yes, I am not in my regular setting because I happen to be in the cabinet in Bangsar, surrounded by all of this leather and wood and the opulence. It truly is a very comfortable place to enjoy a dram and especially a cigar. Now this is not any ordinary cigar, of course. This is the Leaf by Oscar in Gordo, and this cigar comes courtesy from the good folks in the cabinet. Coming in at an impressive length of 6 inches by a hefty 60 ring gauge, featuring a Nicaraguan Maduro wrapper, which I must say is one of the most smoothest, most beautiful wrappers I have seen on a cigar. Filler and binder from Honduras, Danlí, Honduras specifically. The foot is nice and packed. The cap is immaculately applied. There are literally no seams whatsoever on the cigar. Just a slight few veins, but look at the color on it. The sheen, the oils from the wrapper are really coming to the fore. The band is actually made out of tobacco pulp, so you can technically, if you wanted to, smoke the band. A cigar retailer based in Pittsburgh by the name of Jim Robinson actually commissioned 3 of his good friends, one of them being Mr. Oscar Valladares himself, the name that's on the band, to sort of come up with a collection for his Leaf and Bean collection, and that's why the cigar is called Leaf by Oscar. It is meant to celebrate and highlight the best of the region that it is produced in as well. And of course each cigar blender or cigar master sort of slightly did their edition a bit different from each other. They put their own spin to it. Now a lot of people wonder whether the whole tobacco leaf as packaging is part of a gimmick or not. Now according to Jim Robinson himself, it actually allows for the cigar to breathe better. It's sort of you're wrapping tobacco with tobacco as well, and thus it allows it to be more fresh, allows it to sort of last a little longer, and most importantly to breathe. But I'm just wondering, because with the cellophane that cigars, non-Cuban cigars are usually packaged in, they are very breathable as well. They're specifically made to be breathable as well, and from what I've heard, they are also fireproof apparently. Tried a few examples, burnt, singed off immediately. But yeah, so this has a tobacco leaf wrapper around the whole cigar, which of course I've removed, and I've given this a beautiful crown cut. Hope you guys can see that. Look at the ash of this. It is just splendid. The construction, the build of the cigar, everything thus far is top-notch. On the palate, very beautiful Maduro flavors. We're talking about a very nice earthiness to it. It's not very overpowering, to be honest. It's actually very light. With a cigar of this shade and a cigar that, you know, is marketed as a Maduro, especially a Nicaraguan Maduro, you expect very bold, very robust earthiness, but you know, not so here. It's very light. There's a huge amount of sweetness in the cigar. Almost date-like, almost sticky, almost caramel-like sweetness. And it's very oily. It sort of leaves a slick on the palate as well. The smoke is very thick, but I would not call it creamy. There's a slight spice element, almost like clove, nutmeg, more akin to nutmeg actually on the finish as well. Very complex cigar thus far. I must say I'm actually quite surprised, pleasantly surprised. Right now you're getting a slight evolution of flavors. Of course the earthiness is sort of ramping up a little more. The sweetness has died down just a little, so you got a very caramel-like sweetness, a very sticky sweetness in the first third. Now it's a very light honey sweetness. One new element that has come in, which I must say is quite enjoyable, is the mocha flavor profile. You're getting a very creamy, very lush mocha note on the palate. Now on the retrohale itself, you get a very, very subtle coffee sort of scent and a flavor as well. The pepper note is very, very faint, but I'm expecting it to ramp up a little. Getting to the band point of the cigar, and so the band for these cigars are actually quite unique because they are made out of tobacco pulp, essentially paper made out of tobacco. You could smoke it if you want, but there isn't really a flavor profile there, and it's sort of, to me, it messes with the actual flavor profile of the cigar itself. So I usually remove the band, which I'm about to do after this. But if you wanted to smoke the band, or if you ever wondered what it's like to smoke a cigar with the band on, go ahead, this is the cigar for you to try that with. I'm getting a lot of pepper on the forefront of the palate itself, you know, but it's nothing too overpowering. It's not a burning sensation. You know there's pepper there, but you're not really getting the burn of pepper altogether. It's more akin to white pepper actually, so it's very refined. The earthiness has come back to the cigar. You're getting a very slight espresso finish on the palate as well. But one very interesting thing to note about the flavor evolution is you're getting a very nice sort of oil that has come to the fore. A very sort of silky, it really coats the palate. So it's more of a textural sensation rather than a flavor profile itself. Had about 1.5 hours out of this. So pairing this cigar with any beverage, I would say the best pairing would be a bourbon, because the sweetness in the bourbon will go really, really well with the flavor profile of the cigar itself. A bourbon, sherry single malt, you know, all of these things will work really, really well. Those 4 different types of cigars in the Oscar line itself: the Maduro, which I'm smoking, the Corojo, the Connecticut, as well as the Sumatra. So I've tried the Sumatran and the Connecticut before. Very, very mild indeed. So to me, this is the powerhouse amongst the 4 in the line itself. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I would love to hear from all of you guys. I'll see you guys in the next installment of Pura Vida. Till then, stay smoky and stay safe. Bye bye.